Hello everyone, I'm here today with another process video, and these are the last 4 layouts in my Canva hybrid album. I've already done the closing page, so it's just these 4 layouts. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are all from a day at the zoo I did with my friend Holly, and it's kind of an odd mix because I had some zoo related pics, which I've already done, and then I had the rest of these which are more fall themed, but then I come back around to more zoo, kind of artsy zoo that is, and flowers. So it's a weird kind of mix. For these layouts, I will say this one I just designed on my own. I didn't like anything in the templates that I had, and so I basically just took a blank layout that was 4x8, and then I just made my own boxes and dropped in the photos according to what size I wanted them to be. So nothing too spectacular there, but you can design completely on your own if there's not a template that you like. So I did that there. This one, actually the next 3, no, this one is from Oh Snap Holly, that's right. I did this one and I just adjusted it. I removed what was at the bottom to do my own thing, but I liked the position of the boxes, and so I used that one. This is just digital paper that I dropped in on my own. I just sized it to make it look almost like washi, but it is digital paper. And then these are both from My Sweet Kate. So you can see the circular one here. I removed some of them and resized because I only wanted 6 photos. And I just chose to put in some journaling at the bottom with some space for something. We'll see what that is. And then this one is a template that's already there. I didn't have to manipulate it too much. You can kind of see it right here. I added some extra boxes, but that's about it. I liked the journaling at the top. I knew I wanted to have something there, so that worked out okay for what I needed. But again, keep in mind, anything that you drop into Canva, you can move stuff around and change it to be whatever you want. For these first 2 layouts, I can definitely go a little bit more Halloween-y with this one because it has Halloween themed decorations. I know I have some of that in my bag of die cuts and ephemera, so I will definitely look through there. This side, though, is a little bit more traditional fall, so I will also have to pull out that stuff because I want more of that autumn vibe to go with this one. So I did pick out some Halloween type things, the spookier side of this, to possibly use. I also just used things like this that's made to look like candy corn. But I did notice that in here, there is some purple. And wasn't thinking I would use purple, but I did have this in there and this. The only problem here is this actually wasn't October 31st. I don't know that it makes a difference, but it wasn't actually Halloween day. It's not quite the right purple either. I think it needs to be the darker if I'm going to do it, and I do like this one. It's a little too big though, so I think I'd have to chop off part of the top, but maybe I could either do it flush to that or maybe under that a little off to the side like so, but I do like the look of the purple. And then for here, I could do washi across here or try to find some other embellishment or phrase that might work in this area. I don't think I have any purple phrases, at least not that I remember, but you never know. I did decide to cut off part of the top to make that a little shorter. I like that much better. Chose to overlap a little bit rather than go flush to the photo there. And then I have this little chunk left, and so I'm wondering if I can use it between these 2 photos, but then still layer on a phrase of some kind. I definitely could go black and white because I have that, or maybe orange, maybe even yellow because I've got that in the trees. So I'm going to look for some phrases next. I did attach this leftover piece as well, and then on this sheet of stickers I have this one that says trick or treat, and again, it's not actually Halloween there, but I think it fits the theme. And my kids are too old. They don't trick or treat anymore. So what else am I going to use it for? So I think I'm going to take that out. It does also say jack-o'-lantern spectacular, and it does say jack-o'-lantern here. So I could work in both maybe if I wanted to, but I think I'm going to do this maybe right here and overlap that a little bit. I like that. And could I make the jack-o'-lantern work? Maybe down here. I'm gonna mess around, excuse me, mess around with that for a little bit. See if I could possibly make that fit in down there. Otherwise, I could also overlap it here if I don't feel like it's too close to the text I already have. I did choose to add the jack-o'-lantern sticker down there, and I think I actually am going to do something else. I have this sticker that says boo, and it's a little wide as is, but I can cut off the ends to shorten it. I think I am going to put that right up here. All right, I think this one is done. I actually put the boo sticker in the middle of this first, and I did not like that at all. It was too lined up with the words here, and it didn't look good, not in my opinion. So I moved it over to be flush to the left, and I like that much better. So now this one is done, and I can move on to the seals. I almost skipped a layout there. I thought I was going on to the seals, but that's the next one. I have to do this one first. So this is the one that's a little bit more traditional fall. That doesn't mean I can't use this. Like this one actually might look okay. Let's try it. Ooh, kind of like it. And I could put a sticker in there or stamp. The rest of these Halloween-y ones don't really go, but I do like that. I am going to use that, and then I have these stickers, and there are several that will fit. A couple of the ones I liked are too long. I held it up and they would just cover up the little stars there, and I don't want that. So I'll have to go with one of the shorter options. I decided to go with a sticker that said Golden Days because I do have a lot of yellow here. This in particular, I mean, look at that. That's pretty hard to beat, pretty golden. So I'm going to take that and adhere it. And I was a little bummed because I realized there's a little tear on the front of this right there. And I tried to figure out a way of maybe I could cover it up, but not really. It's just the way it tore when I punched it out of the sheet that it came on, and I'll live with it. It'll be fine. So I want to get this pretty centered. So if I line it up with that middle line, that should be good. Let's do that and see. Yeah, that's pretty good. And do I want something here? I feel like that would almost be too linear. No, you know what? I think for this one, the text and then this element is enough. So I'm not going to add anything else to that one. For this one, it's a little bit of a challenge because I have all of these different bright colors happening, which I love, but because I have all of those, it makes it challenging to figure out what to do with this. And I really have a narrow space, a thin space to work with. So I think it might end up being just a strip of washi. So I'm going to take this over to my washing container, try to match to some of these colors, and then just see what I end up liking the best. Because I do have all of these bright colors going on, I chose bright washi as well. I have this one, which I picked because I felt like it kind of matched this hot pink fuchsia seal statue. And then I have this one, which almost looks like a sun pattern, just dots really though, but it's circular. I like that because this is circular and it matches this guy and this guy. And then this washi is actually the same pattern as this one. It's just a different color, and I liked it for the shells and things that are in this one, and then this guy up here. I think all of them would be good choices. It's just a matter of what do I like the most and then what works well with this. I'm a little concerned about this one because it would be so close to this, although I love the color. So I'm wondering if it's going to be one of these two. So I'm just going to mess around with them and see what I like. After messing around with those, I decided I liked the hot pink the best. So I'm going with that option. And I'll just double check once I have it on there if I really, really do like it. Let's see. I do. I think it has a nice pattern. I mean, there are patterns happening everywhere here, but it has a nice pattern that's not too overwhelming, and it's far enough away from this that it doesn't distract, but it adds in a nice bit of extra color. I feel like I need something overlapping here, though. That just feels really plain. I'm not sure what exactly that would be. I have tons of phrases in my travel stuff, though, so I may just pick out one of those that's a little more generic and use it there. When I went into these phrases, I also pulled out yellow just in case. But when I went into these, I found this one. It's very generic. It just says snapshot. But I feel like that would be okay here because that's what these are. And if I put it like right here, just overlapping that pink, I really like that. So I think I'm going to use that one. And now I'm on the last layout here, and this was the flower show in the conservatory that's part of the zoo here. And I've dropped in 2 pieces of digital paper here to match the color scheme. So I have to figure out what am I putting on those. I do have lots of floral stuff, so hopefully that shouldn't be too difficult. And then again, I need something here, probably washi, because I need something that's sort of long and narrow, but maybe not. If I found like a die cut of some purple flowers or something that I could overlap in an interesting way, I might consider that. I have grabbed out 2 washis just to start with. These are much more narrow than I would like. And this I think is not the right green, but I loved the idea of it being iridescent. And I'm hoping that maybe when I lay it down, it's not quite that shade, but who knows? And then I have this one. And I don't think I've ever used this one. I like that it's kind of got the herringbone pattern in it. Hopefully the camera is showing that somewhat. I like that. I don't think it would be too distracting. I really like it with these flowers. So if I just did a little bit up there, that might be okay. But I'm also going to pull out my floral die cuts to just see what I have. I've pulled out a bunch of floral stuff here. I have these little things. These came in some kit. I think maybe it was from when I used to be in Club Scrap, like lots of years ago. And I like them, so I just never got rid of them. But the colors kind of work. I mean, that purple isn't bad, and maybe that wood veneer, because there is kind of a brown tone in this wall here. So I have those, and then I have just my big old bag of miscellaneous floral things. And then I have these, and these are 3D toppers. They're things you build in sections and they become 3D. And this shows what I have. There are definitely some purple options in there. And I don't think like the flowers that it shows has to perfectly match what's here. I'm more about color in this case, just to make sure that aspect will work. So I'm going to go through all of this and just see what I can put together. So I did go through all of these, and they were all way, way too big. There was actually one set that I liked that was more white, and I thought, oh, maybe that'll work. Still, it was way too big. So color was good, size was not. So I think I'm going to go with these 2 wood veneer pieces. They're very plain, but I like that it does bring out the brown in the tile on the floor and then in the rock wall here. So I think that will be fine. So I will glue those on, and then all I have to do is figure out the washi up here. I glued on the wood veneer pieces, so I think those are pretty dry. And then I thought I would just try this washi to see. At first I thought, well, maybe it's going to be too dark, but I really like it and I love the pattern in it. Hopefully it's showing it better now than it was when it was on the roll. So I think I'm going to just fold that back and keep that as it is. And then let me look at it one last time just to be sure that I still love it. I do. I think that's all I need for this one as well. So this was the last layout that I'm going to show. And because I didn't do all of them on camera, I will do a flip through. But for now, the album is completed. So thanks for hanging out with me while I was doing that. Thanks for watching.